Hello, my name is Sabrina Marshall, and this is another update on our personal learning projects. This week I decided to start doing some preparation for my final project. What we talked about in class is Dr. Scott gave me the final project of reading a children's book in Italian to someone. I'm going to read to my little cousins. They're 13, so they're not as young, but one of her things was to try to put my own spin on it, my own sarcasm, my own humor, and I think that they'll really get that as 13-year-olds. They don't speak Italian fluently, so my coach, who's their father, or my uncle, whatever, is going to be there, is kind of like standing next to them, and he'll get most of the things. He speaks pretty fluent Italian. There's a couple words he doesn't know because he doesn't speak it as often as he did as a kid, so he'll be there to help translate for them and help them get the humor. So I'm going to be reading If You Give a Pig a Pancake, which was a book that I loved as a kid and is actually theirs. I asked my aunt if she still had it, and she did. So they know this book, I know this book. Hopefully reading it to them in Italian will be really fun.
I miei amici vorranno conoscerti. L'anno prossimo a quest'ora saremo in Francia.
In these clips, I'm using the future tense. One of my goals and objectives was to learn several different tenses along with several different types of verbs that I could conjugate with it. Just like in English, there's a ton of different tenses. However, for whatever reason in English, I don't realize how many there actually are. When I say words like I am going to, or I did have this, or whatever, I don't think of that as a different tense, but it definitely is one. It makes it so much harder to conjugate in Italian when there's so many different words and modifiers and everything that I haven't learned yet. One of the ones that my book really uses is the future tense. It always talks about she will want this, she might want that, she will do this. So it's really important to know the future. So I decided to go out of my way and to find a website that had several different sentences and phrases and uses of the future tense. And I practiced saying them out loud so I would get a sense of how the endings are pronounced, as the endings sort of vary between verb types. And I would get a sense of how it's used in more common phrases than just my little children's book.
The syrup. Sciroppo. The syrup.
In these clips, I'm practicing my flashcards for words that are going to be in my book. The book, If You Give a Pig a Pancake, has a whole lot of words about food and the pig itself. Sometimes it talks about the farm, or the pig, or the pancake, or the syrup, or the butter, all of those things. However, the whole funny part of the book is that she keeps wanting to do all these crazy things in this girl's house. So she takes a bath, and she tries on clothes, and she does dancing, and she rides in the car. So there's a lot of different verbs that go on. So I decided to make some flashcards about the basic nouns and basic verbs and a couple of the extra words like would or to or is that I could hopefully add in, and if I get a chance to memorize all or most of these, I can get through the book and have a couple backups of if I'm not sure what the word. This week I felt pretty good. It was nice to do a little bit of practice work with the book because I went and found sections that had to do with tenses that I needed to learn, or a couple words I thought would be really useful to just get a sense of the book. There's a lot of things that it talks about in the book, and different words and nouns and stuff, so I thought it was good to include some of that. And then starting to learn words that is actually in the book will help me give like a better understanding, and also different ways I can interpret it and tell them the story. So I feel pretty good about going into learning all this stuff, and hopefully starting this early, like adding these kinds of words in this vocab in, will make it that much easier when the final comes, and I'll get to really have more fun with it and enjoy it. So, yay!